All right, guys, this might be one of the best videos I've ever made because I've got a friend joining us today. Hello. Just kidding, y'all. I'm not going to be doing sock puppets. How funny would that be if this show just turned into me doing sock puppets? Just kidding. Anyway, let's jump into the drone incursions that are happening all over the world. This is going to be kind of a deep dive. I've got a lot to show you. It's going to be very, very interesting in today's video, and I recommend staying till the end so you can see it all. All right, let's start with a Pentagon press briefing that happened yesterday and them talking about these drone incursions and what exactly they're going to do about it.
And finally, throughout his tenure, Secretary Austin has prioritized the development and rapid fielding of capabilities to counter the urgent and growing threat posed by unmanned systems. This week, the Secretary signed a classified strategy for countering unmanned systems to unify the department's approach to countering these systems that looks across domains, characteristics, and timeframes. Unmanned systems, more commonly known as drones, have the potential to pose both an urgent and enduring threat to U.S. personnel, facilities, and assets overseas, and increasingly in the U.S. homeland. As you know, the threats presented by these systems are changing how wars are fought. With this singular strategy for countering unmanned systems, in conjunction with other major DoD initiatives like the Joint Counter Small UAS Office and Replicator 2, the DoD is orienting around a common understanding of the challenge and a comprehensive approach to addressing it.
And then just a quick second question. You talked about this new classified strategy, and you had talked before about that there were some incursions, particularly down in Virginia, over military facilities, and there's been others. Is there anything in the strategy that's more tactical that allows commanders to do anything, or is this just a broad statement of policy?
Of course, it's got all kinds of good information, but it's classified, so I can't talk about it. No. So really, Lita, again, recognizing that the strategy is classified, we will have an unclassified fact sheet that we'll be providing soon. Really, just kind of looking at how we'll approach this. One is ensuring that the department is prepared to conduct counter unmanned system operations, counter UAS operations. Two is looking at how we respond to incidents that do occur by pulling together subject matter experts and resources. And then third is tracking equipment and counter UAS equipment, UAS, one aspect of drones. So really, again, broad brush. It's kind of looking at this in a comprehensive and cohesive way. Again, I'm not going to go into the specific tactics, techniques, procedures at this point, but it enables the department to approach this in a way, again, that's comprehensive, cohesive, and holistic.
Do you have any new information about progress that's been made between the U.S. and UK militaries getting to the bottom of those previous incursions, and have there been any more?
Yeah, I don't have any updates to pass along from the podium here, Brandy. I'd recommend you call U.S. Air Forces in Europe or the UK Ministry of Defense. Thanks.
All right, so they've got some new classified system that they're going to be using to approach these unmanned vehicles, right? These UAP, or as they're classifying as drones. But if they can't identify them all, I guess they're just assuming they're drones. But you and I both know. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. I'm just kidding. I don't know. But regardless, there is a classified meeting today, okay, behind closed doors, with people from Aero and Congress and talking about this. And let's hear from Fox News of what they have to say about that.
So after this classified briefing concludes, we hope to learn more about what happened in it. But we talked to Congressman Burchett before he walked in there. Mike, he says one of the reasons he didn't want to show up is if he learns something new or something he already knows, he's technically not supposed to even talk about it.
Because if these are not little green aliens, who do lawmakers think is responsible for these drones?
Well, Mike, just before he walked in, Congressman Ogles from Tennessee said this could be the work of the U.S. military testing new technology. But Congressman Burchett seemed to have another take. He thinks if the Chinese aren't directly responsible, perhaps they're recruiting hobbyists to fly these things to test the U.S. response, see how the U.S. military and the FBI responds, which apparently is what we're seeing right now. Mike, still a big mystery, but we're going to stay on it.
So we'll see what comes of all of this, right, in the coming days, weeks, months, what exactly happens. But something that is happening is that people are putting up pictures and videos of these drones, right, that they're sighting, right? They're happening in the UK, New Jersey, Russia, all over the place, right? Different parts of the United States now they're popping up as well. They've been happening honestly, for a couple years, right? If not more. And something that's interesting is that we got to be careful about what some people are putting up, because let's take a look at this, for example. This is a post that was made recently, right, about these pictures that were taken in England, right, sent in by the mother of somebody, and posted on this original Facebook group. Then it moves to Reddit, where it absolutely blows up, and you've got these quite interesting drone pictures, right? Or UAP, or what is it, right? It clearly has quite a distinct look. But then when you're on Reddit and you're looking at that particular post, which again, it absolutely blew up, and it's being shared now all over the internet, those pictures, right? And now right below that, okay, just a few, if you scroll down just a little bit from that post on Reddit, you find this post. And as you can see, it's just a kite. That's what this person's claiming, based on them doing the contrast and changing it. And then you see that line right there, right? That invisible line, which I'm pointing out there. They're saying that someone brushed out the kite line, right? The string that holds up the kite. Is that possible? Yeah. Is it definitive? I don't know. Is this a kite? I mean, I guess it could be. Here's an example of one someone pointed out on Reddit that looks quite similar, to be honest with you. You can see how big it is. It's massive, right? And they make all kinds of different sizes. They light up. And as you can see from this video, if you saw this in the sky from far away, zoomed in, I mean, it's possible it would give this off. And again, that's just a picture, not a video, right? Now, I'm not saying this is the exact one, but I'm just saying this is an example of how someone could easily be tricked into thinking this is a UAP when really it's just a kite.
Unidentified flying object means it could be a kite.
Now, I just showed that clip from Bad Friends. You're probably, what the hell's going on here, Patrick? Well, stay with me, because I am going to show more of that in just a second as part of, a rabbit hole that I went down with this whole thing and how that, adds in. But first, I want to show you guys something that is quite interesting, right? Now, they talk about all these drone sightings in New Jersey and how even FBI agents are being followed home by some of these drones, right? Well, something that's kind of interesting. In 2009, in New Jersey, a bunch of guys got together and decided to hoax a ton of UFO videos. And Vice did a piece on it. Here's a clip.
What the f***? That's gotta be the weirdest I've ever seen in my f***ing life.
I was always a bit of a showman, for lack of a better term.
This is so illegal. Is that them?
That's them, man.
We're going to call News 12. We're going to make a call to MUFON, Mutual UFO Network, and we're going to maybe call some of the New York stations, ABC, we'll see.
Morristown police say they received more than a dozen calls about the UFO.
This is what was seen last night between 8:30 and 9, photographed by the Hurley family in Whippany.
I'd like to see someone, tell me what it was, because I cannot tell you what it was.
There was someone that said, well, this could be the end of days. Someone even mentioned Al-Qaeda.
We're not trying to prove or disprove anything, but it's okay to be skeptical. Let's do it.
Ooh, yeah, kind of, angers me a little bit, but at the same time, it's just people being people, right? And it's kind of interesting. And look, I'm not showing this to to make you think everything's a hoax and everything. I'm just showing you this to let you know people do this, right? People are out there doing these kinds of things, and even in New Jersey, right? So are some of these people back, right? Are more people doing that? Are people just jumping on the bandwagon? Did it start with one actual sighting and then just grow, right? It's probably just a mixture of so many different things. That's why it's hard to nail down what exactly is going on. But as these guys point out, this is why kind of they did it.
6:35 p.m. It's January 5th. Yep, Monday, 2009.
Chris and I known each other 13 years at that point. Chris and I were a little bit of class clowns. We would talk about all sorts of pseudoscience.
And I was having thoughts in my head since 2004 about doing something.
He actually came up with the idea of perpetrating a hoax.
I saw in the 1960s someone put flares on large balloons and let them go, and it created a stir.
And from there, the idea started to come together about lights in the sky.
We knew the end game of this social experiment was us saying, ta-da, we did it.
I'd be lying if I said it didn't have a fun element to it. We were kind of excited about it, but it did sort of stem from an idea of maybe we could help raise the consciousness of some of these folks. We were always baffled by how easy it was to fool credulous people.
So in their minds, they're helping. In their minds, they're helping people that just jump to the conclusion that everything's a, ET craft to better critically think, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of an odd way to do it, to be honest with you, but who knows, right? It was a different time. So have things changed? I would say in the day of social media, the way it is so active now, it's probably even more rampant, right? That happens. Let's be real, right? I've already shown another video of a kid in Florida who tried to fake an alien invasion, right? And how much press he got, right? How many people took advantage of the Miami Mall incident, the Las Vegas, UFO incident with that family, right? Like, I just think a lot of these things get blown out of proportion, and we got to be careful. At least I think I should be careful. You decide for yourself, but just know that there are people out there who will do this kind of stuff. And these are just the people that come forward and talk about it, right? How many people don't? Just like people don't, report their sightings, people don't report their hoaxes either, right? So either way, but look, let's get to this Bad Friends episode clip. I love comedy podcasts, and I'm a huge fan of Bad Friends with Bobby Lee, Andrew Santino, and the crew. Watch their show all the time. I even go back and watch older episodes. And that's how I came across this episode of Bad Friends, right? Because it has everything to do with the drone incursions happening right now, right? These UAP sightings or drones or whatever. And people keep saying, well, it's Russia, it's China, right? Well, to play the other side of the coin here, right? I've been just showing you stuff that may not be real. Well, this may give some credence to the fact that Russia and China are going through the same thing. So it's not them. Take a look.
It's really falling down the hill. Doc, do you have any crazy conspiracy theories about space that we haven't talked about?
Well, yeah. Now that you
what is this?
it, hell yeah. So this is what we got here.
Oh, that's where
this
I
is
go.
What I like to call,
Tucker Carlson?
Wait, what was this? A Tucker Carlson article?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fox News. This is what I call whose fucking UFOs are they? Because you said you didn't believe extraterrestrials coming here.
Time out. First of all, don't fucking gaslight me about extraterrestrials. I believe in them. I believe they've come here. I don't believe they've stuck around.
No, you don't.
I don't believe they're still here.
But I do believe I get all my news source from Tucker Carlson. All right, so that's where we're on the same page here, baby.
Yeah, that feels good.
Dude, I can even
Do you
hear...
like him?
Nah, I just like the fact that he's trying to cover this.
He's trying. Yeah.
You know he likes this.
Well, let's hear what they got to say.
Let's see what Tucker Carlson, the truth teller, has to say.
What's up with Jews right away?
Tom Rogan came out with a theory as to why they've been lying, and it's worth hearing. Tom Rogan joins us tonight. Tom, thanks so much for coming on. So one of the things you hear is, well, maybe these objects are Russian or Chinese, but your piece points out Russia and China have literally lost aircraft chasing these things. So they're not Russian or Chinese.
So we have a declassified British government document, which is a research document into UFOs that points out a couple of times, actually, that about 4 Soviet...
Already going to discredit this.
Hold on, wait.
British guy? I don't believe British people. These are the fucking... What the fuck? These guys are ultimate liars. We didn't do anything wrong historically.
Invented lying. They invented it.
They invented lying and slavery, by the way. So they're the originals.
Okay.
So...
But let me say, I know what y'all thinking, though.
What?
Doc, do you have the doc?
Doc, do you have
You
the
got that
doc?
right. Hey, pull it up on the goddamn screen. Right. I'm talking about. Yeah, that's not it. Yeah.
He's got it.
Yeah, page 9.
Yeah.
Tino, go on ahead and read it for the people.
Is this it? Right, wait,
Where are
which
we
one?
going? That's the declassified doc from the British. So that's National Archives of the UK.
What does the X's mean?
Yeah, that means the stuff they couldn't leave
X's
in.
they had to have redacted.
Yeah.
So that was declassified in 2000. So any of this other shit y'all hearing about the Navy talking about 2004, this shit been popping off. So
Okay.
go all the way down. Now to page number 9.
Okay. Those are street
going.
lights.
You
You know what those X's...
Read it right there at the top.
Oh, hold on. Doc, just real quick. Look at me, right? Those X's, you know what that says?
What?
This whole document is bullshit, right? My name is Leroy. I'm 8. I'm writing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know what the fuck the X's mean.
Hey, man, it's in the National Archives of the UK.
All right, well, let me see the
I
top.
did my homework. That's all I want y'all to know. I'm out there.
Can I say this?
Oh, my God.
The word UFO, what does it stand for?
Unidentified flying object.
That's right. It can be anything. You understand that, right? It can be
Sure.
of this Earth.
It could be.
Unidentified flying object means
It could be a kite.
Right.
Correct.
Right now.
Yeah.
It could
or,
be
or a feather.
Or a feather.
Right now, we have the information, even China, saying they're using artificial intelligence in this article here. Right now today, and they said that the UFOs are increasing in their airspace. So
how come they're not coming over here as much?
They are.
First of all, hilarious. Okay, if you haven't checked out that podcast, check it out. The reason I love it is because they just talk about nonsense and they're just silly and goofy, and you could totally disconnect from life and just put it on and just laugh and not worry about anything. It's not too serious, but they constantly bring up UFOs and aliens, to be honest with you. That black guy, Doc, who is hilarious, by the way, he's always bringing it up and talking about it, and I love that. So if anyway, go check out the show. But let's talk about the clip they show there from Fox News and the document that Doc talks about, because I've got them, and it's very interesting. First, let's take a look at that clip from Tucker Carlson talking about these UFOs, and this is from years ago.
So one of the things you hear is, well, maybe these objects are Russian or Chinese, but your piece points out Russia and China have literally lost aircraft chasing these things. So they're not Russian or Chinese.
So we have a declassified British government document, which is a research document into UFOs that points out a couple of times, actually, that about 4 Soviet pilots, perhaps Russian pilots since, were lost at trying to engage these aircraft.
Were killed.
Were killed,
Does
yeah.
it say how?
Doesn't say how. And I haven't been able to find out how. I did hear from someone, though, engaged was an appropriate term to use, so that they were trying to shoot these things down, was the implication.
Okay, so if Russia, China, and the U.S. have all had this experience, then these are not.
These are not. And I think that's a pretty clear assessment on the part of the military.
These are not
as
made
well.
by human beings.
No. Well, yeah, I think that's a fair assessment.
Madre mia, ¿verdad? I mean, I'm just saying, right? Apparently, this has been an issue for a long time with Russia and China, and, you know, it's something that has been ongoing, right? So when we're like, oh, that's Russia and China, well, maybe not. If they're actually UAP, I think, you know, it just goes to show that other countries are dealing with this same issue, right? And probably not them, right? It still could be, but I'm just saying this does lead some credence to that, and it leads some credence to the fact that this has been an ongoing thing and something they've been talking about, and more than just a few years, because as they mentioned, this document, right, which I have right here that we're going to look into, it was declassified in December of 2000, and what's in it is fascinating. So let's take a look at some key points from this document. This is the third volume of a 3-part report on the information held in DI-55 on the subject of UAP. The material research in this volume is classified overall secret only because it contains performance values of the UK ADR radars. radar performance is directly relevant to whether unidentified aerial objects can enter and leave UK airspace and whether they constitute a threat. Foreign military interest. Although the study TORs specify UK focus, based on the reports held, UAPs are by no means confined to UK airspace. Other NATO nations, China, Russia, and elsewhere frequently report the most extreme and puzzling incidents in the open press. DI-55 does not have access to any other government's classified reports, as there is no formal intelligence exchange on this topic. However, blank, 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 redacted, are known to have at least one member of staff active in this area. Similarly, at least 2 scientists are active in redacted. Many other redacted scientists have published papers on closely related subjects, and the conclusions from studying these are of importance to the UK findings. Russian, former Soviet republics, and Chinese authorities have made a coordinated effort to understand the UAP topic. Several aircraft have been destroyed, and at least 4 pilots have been killed chasing UFOs. The importance of the topic has resulted in appointment of astronauts and senior pilots, as well as senior scientists, to carry out investigations. Russian investigators have measured, or at least detected, fields which are reported to have caused human effects when they are located close to the phenomena. So what? I mean, if you ask me, this is absolutely nuts, right? Again, this document was unclassified in 2000, 24 years ago, right? And just real quick, they're calling them UAPs back then, right? Not UFOs, although they mentioned UFOs in there. The term UAP is a lot older than we think, right? And maybe the UK is the one that actually came up with it. Who knows? Regardless, this is happening all over the place. You even have reports of pilots dying from chasing these, drones. So I don't know. Is it China and Russia? Maybe it is exotic. I just thought it was interesting, right? And a good way to end this video. But I will say this. There was a picture in this document that led me down another rabbit hole. And that will be my video for tomorrow, because this photo right here is quite interesting. And the story behind it is even more interesting. All right, vetters, let me know what you guys think in the comments. We'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Remember, every day's a gift, y'all. Peace!
Unidentified flying object means it could be a kite.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep.